All right, we're still in Chapter 11, Section 2, and we're going to talk about today what has really brings America into the actual war, which is going to be the attack on Pearl Harbor. Um, we know the Japanese, they're going to play a threat. Remember back to World War I, they were our friends, they were our allies. Afterwards, they come up to a militant rule, and they decided they're going to start attacking and seizing much of China in the 1930s. Now, why is China significant? China was a strategic trading partner with most of our allies in the United States as well. In the 1940s, they seized the French colony of Indochina, and Japan planned to take the Dutch East Indies, the British Malaya, and Philippines. Main things where they were getting from these areas were the rubber and oil that they needed to create a war machine. So if you ask if Japan was really on like the front lines of being a major threat, it wasn't really viewed as that because they were very small and insignificant at the beginning part of where we're at. So the United States is going to have economic pressures to respond. And what they could do is, and what they did do was, they froze all the Japanese assets in American banks to make sure that this continuous attack would stop. They stopped the sale of all oil, gas, and other natural resources. And this is going to outrage the Japanese because this is what they depended on. They depended on American gasoline, American oil, and which is going to become kind of ironic when Pearl Harbor happens. The Japanese Prime Minister Tojo plans an attack on the United States. At the start of the attack, it's happened at 7:40 in the morning on December 7th, 1941. Japanese warplanes attacked an American military base at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. In the battle, it destroyed 8 battleships, 3 cruisers, 4 vessels, and hundreds of planes. 2,400 soldiers, sailors, and civilians were killed, and aircraft carriers were all at sea. Now, again, the significance of this is the fact that it was a strategic location, and we talked before about the fact that Hawaii was just a colony or a territory of the United States, not a state at this point. But having most of the fleet located there, the Japanese took a gamble that we talked about before, and that was if they could stop or hurt us or end this ability to be in the Pacific, then we would not pose a threat to them. And what they ended up doing is they poked a sleeping beast during that time. Again, the people who were on the island, from the accounts that we've seen, the first-hand accounts, didn't realize that they were actually being attacked. They actually thought it was American practice. So the changes, they didn't respond very, very quickly. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too late. Just a review from what we talked about before. The attack came in 2 waves. The first wave came in at 7:40 in the morning, attacking the whole base of Pearl Harbor. The next wave was about an hour later, again, making sure people were out, people were trying to be rescued, and they wanted to make a second wave to make sure that they could destroy things that were still remaining in that sense. So the impact of Pearl Harbor, it was the worst defeat in the United States military history. It united Americans. So remember, before this, we were isolationists. We said we were not going back to war. This is going to be one of those things that's going to really change the pace of how involvement should be. The debate about involvement, and it's going to be in the war. The next speech we're to look at and we're going to view is the famous speech that says a date that will live in infamy. And Congress is going to be, FBR is going to ask for approval to go to war, declare war, and Congress is going to approve that declaration of war against Japan. Immediately after that, Germany and Italy declare war on the United States, so Congress decided to declare war on them back as well. And this is once again how we were drug into the Allied nations and, again, World War II.